Hello and welcome to Business Live. Coming up in this bulletin, Energy Ministry announces commercial oil discovery near Cape 3 Points. Also coming up, the Bank of Ghana gold reserve surged to 32.99 tons in 6 months. Also, the Federation of Ghana Exporters applauds blueprint of the 24-hour economy policies but charges government to ensure infrastructure needs for the initiative is built.
If we have the market, you are able to produce to meet the market, it becomes a problem. And so these are the reasons why we are looking at 24-hour economy, deploying all the necessary arsenal. Infrastructure, we have a lot of infrastructure deficit to the park houses.
These and more coming up. My name is Winston Taki, and now to our first business story. Ghana's upstream petroleum sector has reached a major milestone as the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition has announced the formal submission of a declaration of commerciality for the Eban-Akoma oil and gas discoveries in the Cape 3 Points Block 4. Confirming their commercial viability and paving the way for new domestic energy development. Let's share the statement that has been released this afternoon for you to get the real tenet of the release. So according to the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition, they said they are pleased to announce a significant milestone in Ghana's upstream petroleum sector, the formal submission of declaration of commerciality of the Eban-Akoma discoveries located within the Cape 3 Point Block 4. The declaration of commerciality was submitted by the joint venture partners comprising Eni Ghana Exploration and Production Limited, Vito Upstream Tano Limited, Woodfields Upstream Ghana Limited, and GMPC Exploration and Production Company Limited in collaboration with the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC. This declaration submitted on the 3rd of July 2025 follows the successful completion of the Eban-Akoma appraisal program pursuant to Petroleum Exploration and Production Act 2016, Act 919, and the CTP B4 Petroleum Agreement. The appraisal confirms the commercial viability of hydrocarbon discovered in the Eban 1X, that is oil, and Akoma 1X, which is gas and condensate wells, paving the way for the development of new domestic energy sources. Honorable John Abdullah Jinapor, Minister for Energy and Green Transition, described the declaration as a clear testament to the government's commitment to sustainable development of Ghana's hydrocarbon resources. The statement goes ahead to say, and I quote, "The declaration of commerciality for the Eban-Akoma discovery is a major boost to our oil and gas sector. It highlights the immense potential of our offshore resources to fuel economic transformation, enhance energy security, and drive Ghana's industrialization agenda. We commend the JP partners and GMPC for their dedication to this strategic national asset," and that end of quote by the minister over there. And now we'll go on Zoom. Joining us on Zoom is the Executive Director of the Center for the Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, Benjamin Isia, to get more insights on this discovery. Hello, Ben. Let's be honest. How big of a deal are the Eban-Akoma discoveries for Ghana's oil and gas sector? Are we talking about a real breakthrough or just another project that might face delays and challenges like we've seen with subsequent or previous projects?
Thank you very much. I think this project has already faced a delay. The ENI and its partners made this announcement in 2021 when this project was appraised, and then they made us aware that the project had about 500 to 700 billion barrels of equivalent of oil, which per day they are likely going to do about 5,000 barrels. So because of the unitization challenge that came between ENI and then Springfield, that is why they delayed in submitting the appraisal results to the ministry. But this current government has made us aware that they've resolved the unitization challenge. For that matter, it gave way for the presentation of their commercial discovery from that side. It is a big deal because since 2019, we've been observing a declining upstream, and declining upstream because we're doing about 78 million barrels a year, but as at 2024 we are now doing about 71 million barrels. But as at 2024 we're doing about 48 million barrels. So there's been a decline of about 39 to almost 40% in the upstream. And when that happens, it means that revenue projections and what we're needing from that side, you are not going to get. So when we are lucky that new discoveries are made, which are in commercial quantities of about 5,000 barrels per day, it means that now our production is likely going to go beyond 140,000 barrels per day, and that brings in a lot of revenue to us, especially at the time that fuel prices are seeing a declining price on the international market.
Ben, the government says this project will help Ghana grow and also support our move to cleaner energy. But how do we grow oil and gas and still stay serious about climate goals? Can we really do both at the same time?
Yeah, we are likely going to do both, because if you look at the discovery, it also comes with natural gas. And natural gas in terms of emission has low carbon emission levels compared to other white products or other hydrocarbons. So for that matter, what is going to happen is that if Ghana has adequate surface infrastructure or has prepared itself adequately to tap in the natural gas potential, it means that we are likely going to power our thermal generation with natural gas, and that emits lesser hydrocarbons compared to the other fossil fuels. So it also helps us in transitioning from the fossil-based product that we use. So sometimes we hear emergency fuel using light crude oil, using heavy fuel oil, using other white products like distillate. These are emission-related products compared to natural gas. So when we get the gas in abundance, it helps us to power our thermal plants to reduce our emissions. And also, when the gas begins to come in, as a country, we may even diversify the incomes from the gas sector to renewable energies. For example, the government has mentioned that they are likely going to form a renewable energy fund. So most of this income or revenues that may come from our upstream could be redirected into the renewable energy sector to help develop our renewable energies. And I think that is what the ministry needs. But the potential of getting effective revenue or total revenue from our upstream is the ability to develop the necessary infrastructure to tap in the cash cow, which is the natural gas that will flow from some of these projects.
All right, Ben, I want to understand from you. In the past, we've seen oil projects bring in money, but not enough local jobs or benefits for ordinary Ghanaians. What needs to be done this time to make sure Ghanaians don't just get left out of this discovery?
I think as a country, we need a vertical business model where we integrate our upstream to our downstream. It's something that we failed over the years. And when we're able to create that particular vertical model, I believe that Ghana will get a full potential of the oil sector. For example, this new discovery is going to increase our output, means that we need to rechannel some of this output to BOST. And when we do that, it means that we are creating jobs and also redirect some products from Thor to the downstream. And that means that we're adding value, and value addition to our product also means creating jobs for the teeming youth who may not have jobs. And also the oil income, we need to critically look at the 919 or 873, which is Petroleum Revenue Management Act. I think that when you look at that particular act carefully, it doesn't do us good because the act mentions a lot of areas that we need to invest in. And these areas, based on PIAC reports, have not yielded the kind of investment we need. I think that we need to have certain specific 4 key areas, whether agro-processing, so that we use the funds from our upstream, direct them to agro-processing or any other infrastructure development or any other investment that will yield job creation as well as promote certain development in our country. But the whole issue of using it to support our annual budget funding amount, where we use it to build certain bridges across localities or municipalities, has not given us the resource that we want to, or the outcome. All
right, Ben, finally, before I let go, the plan now is to develop the oil and gas found in Eban-Akoma. What are the biggest risks that could slow this down, and how can we avoid repeating past mistakes, finally?
It has to be with regulation. I think the delay was caused by regulation where government forced these two entities to merge. I think that in the coming days, what is likely going to cause a risk in that particular sector is the investment potential from various partners to contribute to the development of the sector. As to whether GMPC and Exploco will have the necessary resources to contribute to the development of the sector will be a major issue that we have to tackle, because I know Vitol may have the resources, ENI has the resources, and other partners may have the resources, but as a country, there are certain times that our contribution has not come, and that also delays the development of this particular project that we've discovered.
Thank you very much for your time, Benjamin Nsia. Benjamin Nsia is Executive Director for the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, who will join us on this discovery. Now, moving on to the financial sector, the Bank of Ghana's gold reserve surged to 32.99 tons at the end of June 2025 from 32.16 tons in May 2025. There is more in this report.
Bank of Ghana, the gold reserves have risen by 8.05% since the beginning of the year to 32.99 tons. It began in 2025 at 30.53 tons and increased to 30.62 tons on January 31, 2025. It has since been rising month on month. From 8.78 tons in May 2023, the central bank reserves have been rising, contributing significantly to the stability of the cedi. The accumulation of the gold reserves has been mainly driven by the domestic gold purchase program, a policy initiative designed to strengthen foreign exchange reserves, boost investor confidence, and enhance currency stability, and create a more conducive environment for foreign direct investment and economic growth. The central bank said in an earlier communique that the gold accumulation program is an essential tool in the efforts to diversify reserve assets, reduce exposure to global financial volatility, and provide the economy with more robust buffers against external shocks.
Joining me now on Zoom is banking consultant Dr. Richmond Ichiahene to give us more insights on this development. Welcome, Dr. Ichiahene, on Business Live. Now, what's really driving this steady month-on-month increase in Ghana's gold reserves, and how central is the domestic gold purchase program to that growth from where you sit?
Yeah, good evening to your viewers and listeners. I think it's a policy that is well thought of, and I believe the local purchasing, the gold board, and the government itself, I think, are doing everything possible to ensure that this project achieves a lot. Because recently, they published an African journal, and I think out of the countries we were on the 10th, and ours is at least still low. We are talking about 32.9. I think Morocco and Egypt are talking about 140. So I believe if we can pursue it, we'll be able to reach where we want to reach.
All right. With gold reserves rising over 8% since January, what are the immediate and long-term implications for the stability of the cedi and investor confidence in Ghana's economy?
Well, the reserves have gone up. If you follow the Bank of Ghana data, it clearly shows that our reserves are going up steadily. And it is good, because once you have a strong currency and currency buffer, all investors and other people would have confidence in the country. So it's another strategy where you need to strengthen your balances and make your currency strong. I mean, the reason why the cedi has been strong is that we have a lot of buffer. I mean, we have a lot of reserves both in the currency and the gold. And by so doing, the cedi is performing exceptionally well. And by so doing, the investors see the stability of the currency as a bait, because it's one of the issues. When your currency is stable, you get investors climbing to come back. So it's a very good investment strategy that we have, Ghana has adopted, which I believe it will go a long way to help us to move the economy forward.
Doc, you said it is a good move. Some might also say accumulating gold reserves is a smart hedge. But does this strategy expose Ghana to new risks, such as price shocks in the global gold market?
Thank you very much. This is a very, very important question. You know, gold is just a commodity. And anytime the dollar strengthens, the gold goes down. Anytime the geopolitics, I mean, what our friend in America did recently with China. It made gold to shoot up from $3,000 to about $3,500 until he backed down with the Chinese. I believe gold would have hit 4,000, 5,000 at the end by the end of the year. But as he's back down, today the gold is about 3,250 per ounce. So as a commodity, you have various factors, the geopolitics. And when we talk about geopolitics, what the Americans did and what the Israelis and the Israelis and the Hamas and the Iranians are doing, they are all geopolitics. And people want to, when there is a tension in the global, people want to hedge in gold. That is another reason why gold has been rising. Because of the instability all over the world, those investors think that we should take position in gold because it's an asset that will definitely go up if the system continues. It's a very good idea, but you cannot continue on it because as a gold, as a commodity, if you don't take care and it drops out from $3,200 to $2,500, then you're going to incur losses. So in other jurisdictions, what they do is that they have investor brokers. When they see where the going is good, they can let some go and buy currency like the euro, the dollar, or the pound. But because of our situation, we have decided to use more to hedge by using the gold. But it is not a foolproof issue because should anything happen, the prices could come down. And if the prices come down, your reserve go down. And you may even incur losses because as you're quoting it today at 3.2, if it drops to 2,500 and you keep the same reserves, you're going to lose an average of $1,000. So that is the problem that we have with this commodity. And that is why people move into the fiat currency. Where you have currency, you go into currency.
All right, Doc, how does the increase in reserves tie into Ghana's broader debt management and foreign exchange strategy amidst the recent pressures on the economy?
Well, for almost close to about 8 months now, we seem to be getting our acts right. When I say acts right, is that once you're able to pay your debt, I mean, this morning we've read that we paid the Euro bond recently, $300 and over million. All these things are sending signals to the investment community that the country is on the way to recovery. And by so doing, you just have a potential to attract investors. I mean, I believe what I heard from you from the oil business is all about how the country is going about the stability of the currency, the reserves, the buffer. People see that there is a way ahead, a good way ahead of us. So it's a very good and a laudable approach so that we can bring in investors. I don't mean investors who come in and go and run away. We mean investors who will come and help us to added value to the gold, who add value to the gold, who add value to some of the things that we produce, so that we don't go and sell raw commodity as we've been doing over the years and years and years and years. If you do that, once you send a raw commodity like that way, you are helping that economy. You're not creating value in your economy. So once we get investors who come and do the added value, then we can say that we are on the right path and we are moving on the right track.
All right. Dr. Richmond Ichahene is a banking consultant. Doc, we appreciate your time here on the Business Live. We have more business update for you here on Business Live right after this break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Business Live. Everyone join us. My name is Winston Taki, and now to our first business story. The Federation of Ghana's Exporters says the blueprint for the 24-hour economy program provides huge opportunities for Ghanaian exporters. The group is of the view that the development of the Volta River Enclave could open up more areas for farming for export. Speaking on PM Express Business Edition, President of the Federation, Davis Kobo, said government must work to make the program a reality, particularly the infrastructure development.
If you look at one of the most catchy things in the 24-hour economy program is the Volta Lake Corridor, where the program is going to open up the corridor and also make sure that the over 2 million hectares of land is being developed and also get other infrastructure. So it means that the road network, the rail network, and other things are going to be deployed. For us, it will be, I tell people that water beneath is better than water from above. Because the thing is, climate change is here with us, and we need to be able to do something for us to be able to meet our production market. Because if we have the market and you are unable to produce to meet the market, it becomes a problem. And so these are the reasons why we are looking at 24-hour economy, deploying all the necessary arsenals. Infrastructure, we have infrastructure deficit around to the park houses, the road networks, and other things. Once that is done, and also, the human capital, we should be able to train our...
Meanwhile, the Office of the Minister of State for Climate Changes and Sustainability has reaffirmed its commitment to tackling the escalating challenges posed by climate change and rapid urbanization. Speaking to Joy Business at a climate resilience event organized by GIZ, Technical Director Cedric Julu emphasized that the minister will continue to collaborate with key stakeholders to drive forward critical climate initiatives.
Some highlights of the workshop is to enhance the capacity of local actors to understand, reduce, and manage urban disaster risk. They also engaged in a knowledge exchange platform for sites within the ECOWAS region and across Europe aimed at fostering innovative solutions for urban resilience.
And we are interested in how to, coordinate the processes in bringing partners on board, for comprehensive risk assessment and how to integrate, this risk into our national development, and planning purpose. This program, chiefly among the objective is to provide technical expertise to expert and technical officers like myself, in terms of our work. And we are expected to carry on the knowledge sharing with our colleagues and then also to do further training and engagement to ensure that officers at different levels of government, ministries, region, district assemblies, metropolitans will be well equipped, to identify risks, hazards, vulnerabilities, and how to holistically address this.
Some experts also stress the need to build sustainable connections between African sites as well as European sites, promoting peer learning and collaboration on urban resilience projects.
So if you see the challenges that the continent is facing with urbanization and population growth, then you see the different risks that a city is exposed to. And these risks are even excavated by climate change. So the cities nowadays mainly suffers from floods, droughts, landslides, heat waves, and other climatic issues, but not only climatic issues, also like earthquakes will put the cities at risk. And the cities, it's the people living in the cities and also the infrastructure and the assets.
That's all for business here on Business Live. We have more news for you on our website on myjoyonline.com/business, and you see on our page 24-hour economy must focus on value addition. That is according to the Ghana Exporters Federation president. And we also have the business and investor confidence improving. That's a testimony from AGI. We have Bank of Ghana's gold reserves increased by 8.05% since January 1st, 2025 to 32.99 tons in June. Reconstituted Financial Stability Council hosts maiden meeting. This and more article you'll find on myjoyonline.com. My name is Winston Taki. Enjoy the rest of your holidays. Bye-bye.